With the world at a standstill, caught in the grips of the coronavirus pandemic, the scientific and medical communities both believe that the world won't return to normal until a viable vaccine is found. Until then, our own bodies must respond to this viral infection. But without the benefit of a vaccine to prepare us in advance, how does our body deal with any type of viral infection? Before we talk about that, first we have to talk about how exactly a virus enters a host cell.
Viruses wander around, looking for cells in your body. By attaching itself to the cell, it injects its genetic material into it, hijacking the cell's own. This makes the cell duplicate the virus so much they lyse the cell.
So what do our bodies do?
Starting in our body's first line of defense, our innate immune system, one way is through interferons. Almost every cell in your body can make them. They send out messages which let surrounding cells know that your body is under attack. They can trigger apoptosis, which is programmed cell death in other infected cells, tell healthy cells to stop making RNA, which prevents virus replication, or tells them to increase the major histocompatibility complex class 1 molecules, also known as MHC1. What is MHC1? It's a receptor that cells have, containing protein they show off to surrounding cells. However, infected cells may show off some virus protein instead.
What will this do? This will alert cells in your adapted immune response,
called cytotoxic T cells. Like security, they check all of the proteins that cells are presenting on their receptors to make sure everything is as it should be, so that when they do come across one displaying something foreign, they use a substance called perforin to stab a hole in them, then fill them with granzymes, which is similar to acid, effectively causing apoptosis.
However, what if some hijacked cells didn't show any MHC1 at all? The T cells can't bind to them, so they can leave undetected.
Or they could, if it wasn't for another part of your innate immune system, the natural killer cells. These types of white blood cells are also cytotoxic, triggering apoptosis in a similar fashion in cells that happen to be suspiciously lacking in MHC1 expression. The final way is when these viruses are still floating around in our bodies, not yet attached to a host cell, through the adaptive immune system in the form of antibodies. Created by B lymphocytes, if the invading virus matches with one of the antibodies the B lymphocyte has, then these are rapidly produced.
Antibodies have many ways to destroy the antigen, common ones being
opsonization, essentially marking viruses for death and letting the phagocytes, which are large white blood cells that will eat invaders and digest them, to do all of the dirty work. Neutralization, which is preventing viruses from even docking to the host in the first place. And agglutination, sticking multiple viruses all together so that phagocytes can easily eat them all in one go.
As explained, the human body has evolved incredibly well to deal with all sorts of viral infections. Despite that, it can still be overwhelmed by a rapidly multiplying virus. With the current pandemic pushing the world into a race to develop a vaccine, hopefully one can be discovered soon and help save countless lives.